It's...
Oh, it's Africa! Who hit that?
Dixon in the driver's seat. Ingram behind him down the back straightaway. A little bit of juking out there. It's like a football field.
Yeah, taking some IndyCar lines down the back straightaway. Ingram really closes up on the back bumper of the 15. He's all over it as we go through 3 and 4. He's there on the bottom. He's sitting inside. Coming to the checkered flag. Oh, the no wreckage. All 3 of them around.
Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a dragway race to the line. Tom Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Richmond Raceway for tonight's feature presentation of the Appledore Systems 160, the championship finale for the TMP Racing Series Late Model Series. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, once again, it is Mr. Davey Hazard. Welcome back, Davey.
Hey everybody, how's it going? How you doing, Joe? It's been a wild week since I've been in the booth. But I think I might get the hang of this here soon. It'll be all right.
I think you did really well last week, actually, for first time up here in a while.
I appreciate it.
Had glowing reviews, which I, expected, honestly. I think you're a fantastic personality, and that always translates very well. But Davey, a unique challenge tonight for these drivers at this Richmond Raceway.
Indeed. Gonna be looking at a lot at turn 1. I see these guys kind of ripping around here. It is going to be a bit of a unique challenge, especially for the season ender. Joe, I'm sure you know a little bit more about that point situation than I do.
Yes, you're going to see at the top of your screen the drivers that are considered our final 4 tonight. TMP Racing League or Racing Series has a unique points format to determine an overall champion in 2 weeks' time at Michigan with the ASRA National Championship, but also champions in each individual series, those being tonight's late model champion, next week's Cup champion, and then the IndyCar champion. In theory, those drivers could all be different. Tonight, we're looking at those championship 4, which you see on the right below our ticker on the right hand of your screen. They're not even in points, though, Davey. We're reseeded based on bonus points. Josh Boyer coming into the event. He's got 5 victories on the year. He's going to be up at 541 points to start off tonight. Tom Musa in the 4 car. He's sitting at 514. Roger Nebelsick at 511. And Rich Fankel going to be back at 507 tonight. So if something happens with that 41, things get interesting. But Boyer, after having a very dominant season, he's going to get that advantage of those bonus points tonight. He's going to have a little bit of insurance money to play with.
Yeah, and you always want that when you head into some of these races. When you head into a race like this, where it's a point system, maybe it's not necessarily the chase, or it's over the course of a few races, but having that little bit of a gap is always a good confidence booster, and it can really help you sail into the race and be a little more comfortable than the rest of those guys who got to attack and hope you make a mistake.
It looks like qualifying has just been completed, Davey. So it's my favorite time of the week where I get to shut up for a couple minutes, and it's time for you to read the starting lineup.
All right, well, looks like on the pole we have that 41 of Josh Boyer. Going to get a good start from up there, especially leading the points. Nebelsick, he's going to round out the front row. Rich Fenkel in the 2 car. He's going to be in 3rd. Tom Musa in the 4. He's going to be in 4th. You got our championship 4 all at the front there, Joe. Wade Driscoll rounds out the top 5 in the number 78 car. Brendan Spadafora in the number 37 is 6th. Ron Milkey in the 60, he'll be 7th. Outside of him, Dan Rubino in the number 44 car in 8th. John Palmer in the 108 in 9th position. Rod Weston, correct, gotcha. I'm getting the hang of it here. He's going to be 10th. And that is our field, a field of 10 cars tonight, Joe. And as I mentioned, top 4, those first 2 rows, they filled them up. They're the cream of the crop, Joe.
And we're watching the 51 of Roger Nebelsack. He's got Apple Door Systems on his car tonight. Thanks to Apple Door Systems for sponsoring tonight's race. You can find a link to their website down in the video description below. If you're in the Virginias and you're looking for a new garage door, head on over to appledoor.com. Davey, it's an interesting night here at Richmond. Again, we're talking about a champion. Looks like Josh Boyer's pulling in victory lane right now. I think he's got a little too much confidence, honestly, to start this thing. It's interesting, though, because we still have that overall champion that, you know, is looming going into the final week of the season. We already know who's the championship for the Cup. We know who the championship for the IndyCar Series are individually. But that overall TMP Racing Series champion, that's still at large for a lot of these drivers. The top 12 in points. There's only 10 guys here, so all 10 are in that top 12, I believe. So those top 12 in points are going to get whittled down to 8. So 2 guys tonight, if I did my math correctly, will not be moving on to that final 8 in a couple weeks' time. So, or next week, actually. But it is going to be something to watch. We see a lot of the same guys here, too, kind of towards the front. So I would not be surprised at all to see the same 4 in the Cup finale and then the same 4 in the IndyCar finale, or the same guys competing for the overall championship. A guy like Josh Boyer in particular and Tom Musa, they've been the class of the field this year in all the series. So wouldn't be surprised for those 2 to also be running for that overall championship in 2 weeks' time at Michigan.
Very interesting, Joe. I gotta say, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I understand that point system, because number 1, I'm new, and number 2, there's a lot to it. But I'm glad you understand it. I'm glad you can convey it. It certainly sounds pretty interesting. I mean, that's pretty. I think it's pretty cool.
I think the big appeal, and I think this is what a lot of the guys, why they went into the season with this system. You get different types of racing week in and week out, right? We have these late models, which is all short tracks, Cup cars, which is intermediate, super speedways, and then you get the Indy cars, which is just a completely different car with a lot of road courses and then some different ovals. So without having to dedicate multiple nights of your week to one league or one series, it gives you that freedom. Now, this has been going on for 30 weeks now, right? It's a long championship, or it will be at the end of it.
We're deep in it. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to sign up for it for next year, I know next season isn't going to start until, I believe, October. October or September would be about where it starts. They're going to take the summer off, do some different series with the Trans Am mods, I believe, is one of them, and then another short track series, I believe. So, if you're looking for a league, they're still going to be racing throughout the summer, just not with this format as they do for the fall and then through the spring.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the Jack of all trades championship overall. That's pretty interesting. I like it.
Well, Davey, you read off the entry list and the qualifying positions, but I want to read off all the fans that are tuning in right now. I saw Steve Rubino was here early before I even got my first message in the live chat. Tyler Henry, welcome, guys, to the show. Mackenzie Weston, know you're going to be cheering on Rod tonight. Hoping that 19, I think he's going to be pretty quick tonight. Barbara's here to cheer on old Danny Rubino. And then Average Joe Adventures also tuning in tonight. So, thank you guys for tuning in so far. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button. It really helps support us here at JTN. You don't know how much those likes actually really do for us to kind of get these videos better distribution on YouTube. The more people that hit that like button, the more people that will end up being able to see these videos, the more people we can bring into our JTN family, which actually just got over 500 subscribers. So again, thank you guys for all of that and for supporting all the different content we produce on this channel, including all these live races. Y'all always do a fantastic job. Well, with that all being said, Davey, I think it's time to start this Apple Door Systems 160.
Just might be.
Maybe.
You never know. Not until the pace car rolls off. You just never know.
Drivers, start your engines.
Very quick command here. Fans on their feet cheering. All 10 of these guys getting these late models all fired up and ready to go. Pace car rolls off the end of pit road, and Davey, I think we're just a couple moments away from some green flag racing action. Short track racing one final time here in the TMP Racing Series.
Very exciting. And Joe, we spoke about it a little bit. You let me know this information, but something to look out for. A fuel run is around 40 laps. I don't know if it's any more or less than that, but we're looking at a 160 lap race. Is that correct, Joe?
Yep.
160 lap race. If we go green, which I don't know if we will, it's going to be interesting.
Pace car makes its way down pit road. Josh Boyer with control of the start, and we're underway one final time. TMP late models from Richmond.
Josh Boyer out to an early lead, gets a decent clear. He's all by himself at this point. It's only a matter of time until I think that 51 starts clawing back in at him. So much grip in the corners here at Richmond in the version that they're racing on. These guys are hauling through the corner. We got a car on the wall. Wade Driscoll.
Nice.
Gather it up.
That's a Ford Taurus.
It's a Ford Taurus.
Ford Fusion out front with a Mustang in second, Charger Camry, and then I can't even tell what Spatafor is driving, but it's an older Ford too.
And now that's short track racing spirit right there. All sorts of different types of cars on the track. You love to see it, Joe.
Top 5 have broken away, and then you got the next 4, and then obviously issues early for the 78 car getting in the wall on lap 1.
These guys are digging. It looks like it's almost like there's 2 different packs already. It's pretty interesting. These guys really digging in the corners, not dropping below just about 110 miles an hour in the middle of the corners. We saw in practice a few of these guys were shifting. I don't know if they're doing that in the race or if that was something maybe they're testing. And Josh Boyer was one of the suspects. Looks like he's not shifting right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe it's an early race thing. Maybe they're just keeping it in their pocket.
Is that something, too, you're keeping in your pocket for when those tires start to fall off? Like, you know, because you're going to have to slow down a lot more, so maybe shifting it down into third is going to help you get that extra get up and go off the corner?
It certainly could be, but it's also a question of, do you want to really mess up your rhythm to do that? Richmond, in my opinion, is a rhythm track, and so when you're going down to the corners every lap, it's, you know, Joe, you've raced Richmond. You know what Richmond's all about. It's a little sketchy going
No,
into the
Davey,
corners.
I've never raced a race car. That's...
Oh my gosh. You're impossible, Joe Zawinski. But, you know, corner entry is a little interesting, so you really got to focus in on your entry. You know, and obviously I haven't driven this exact track, so I can't speak totally for what they're feeling. But, you know, it is a risk to start using third gear. There's obviously losing a gear and if there's any fuel implications. But yeah, you know, you keep it in your back pocket if you really, really needed it. I don't know how bad the fall-off is. We'll see that over the course of this run right now. It doesn't look so bad as of yet. Still around 20.7 from 51. Starting to gather up on the back bumper of the leading car, Josh Boyer.
I was going to say, Nebelsack really making some time right now in that 41. I have to wonder, though, if Boyer in that Rocky Boots, I believe that's Rocky Boots, Ford Fusion, if maybe he's letting that Mustang and Nebelsack chew off his tires a little bit too much. That sentence made no sense. I'm sorry, Davey.
No, you're all right.
Bad setup.
I've been running on sentences all night. You know, we talked about tire fall off. Everyone just ran their slowest lap by at least a tenth. The biggest suspects being second and third, Rich Fenkel, Roger Nebelsack, a few tenths off of their fastest times. Gathered it back up there, but still running a couple tenths slower than their fastest laps around here. So we're already starting to see the effects of these laps on the tires.
I was going to say, Davey, even just visually, you can see the pace is slowing down. Further on back, Spatafor made a pass on Tom Musa, so he'll move up into that 4th position here. Good night so far for this 37 team.
Running good. Top 4 is nothing to be ashamed of. Got a good, decent qualifying run. Getting up in the mix of the championship contenders is always got to feel good.
Well, how about I ask you a cliche real quick? Do you race the championship contenders any differently in a championship race?
I think that answer is more situational than anyone wants to admit, Joe. I think it all kind of depends on what's going on. If you're at lap 12 in the race, go up there, try and get yourself some positions. Why not? It's so early in the race. If those guys are fast, they'll come back to you. if it's coming down in the end, the championship guys are duking it out. You might think twice before you make a rash move, but you're still going to want to try and improve your position. But there's a lot of context involved in making those decisions. You don't want to do anything rash or dangerous, but you do want to get the best race you can because you're a racing driver. So, you know, it is a tricky situation. We'll see right here just where Spatafora's morals are with that, as the 4-car breathing down his neck again, looking for the 4th position back. That is Tom Musa.
Well, and if you're Musa, too, you have to be aware that that 37 doesn't have as much on the line tonight, too. I mean, you talk about it's kind of situational for the guy that's not in the championship fight, but it's also situational for that guy that is in the championship fight. Hey, it's early in a race. Maybe I don't push this guy too much right now. Maybe it's not worth it. If Spatafora gets on the apron there, that's going to allow that 4 to get a good run down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and you're right, Joe. And you can't be a championship contending car and expect 37 to move over either. You really can't. You cannot expect any of these guys to race you any differently. You got to race them the same way as, you know, you would any other week. And I think, you know, that the decision of that moral compass, you know, wherever you lie, I don't think there's any wrong answer to the question you asked me before, Joe. But I do think it varies from person to person and situation to situation. You know, like I said.
Come on, Davey. Why you gotta act like my questions are stupid? That's just not very professional.
They're not. When did I say it? Your questions are not stupid, Joe?
The joke. It was a joke. Going back up to the lead, Josh Boyer, Roger Nebelsack, they're still 1-2. They're still kind of have this about 2 car length gap. Maybe stretching to 3 car lengths down the straightaways.
We're already looking at about a half second of fall off on these cars, Joe. We're only halfway through this run.
I like tire fall off. What about you?
Tire fall off's always exciting. Tom Musa looking for the 4th position back on Brendan Spatafora. He's just going to let him go.
There you go. That answers the question, right?
There it is. That's the answer. And we can end the broadcast now. Good night, everybody.
Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Now, something I always notice on tracks where we have a lot of tire fall off is the complexion of the race changes after the first long green flag run. Where you guys will start to notice that if they save their tires, you know, they can maybe get a few spots later in the run. Maybe Tom Moose is doing that right now. But more people realize that after the first run where they drive their car, how they feel it, and, you know, they see where the car goes, and then after that, it kind of changes how they run their race or how they approach their fuel run or their green flag run. It'll be interesting to see if any of these top 4 guys, maybe after this set of pit stops that's coming up, maybe drops back immediately after that set of pit stops and makes a resurgence with, you know, a little bit left, with a little bit of gas up in the tank.
Right now, it looks like this 44 Dan Rubino, he's starting to gain some time on the 37 of Spatafora. That'll be a battle for the 5th position. That starts to close in. I know there's a lot of Dan Rubino fans in chat, so just wanted to make sure we updated you on him. Also, Rod Weston there in 7th. He's kind of gaining some time on these top 5 guys. So there's Weston in that 19 NOS energy drink. Toyota.
You know, what I was just explaining, it could be an opportunity for those guys that are kind of chilling around, you know, 5th through 8th. You know, those guys could maybe get an opportunity seeing how the car is handling right now and taking advantage of that, Joe.
And by taking advantage, you mean they're kind of just getting a mental notebook together, right?
Exactly that.
Let's go. Look at me.
Let's go.
Big smarts, big brain.
Joe, you could be a race car driver.
Oh, man. You think?
I think so. Tom Musa gaining on 3rd. I really wonder if maybe he was saving his stuff there somewhere in the middle of that run. Or in the middle of this run, excuse me.
Well, and we talked about it's 40 laps on a tank of gas, so that means 3 pit stops, and you have to be right on the money, right? I mean, it's 160 laps, so you can divide that by 4, and it equals 40. So 4 runs, 3 pit stops. You don't want to push anything, and that kind of takes short pitting out of play, doesn't it?
It does. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that little thought there. I didn't mean to not answer the question, but we got a pass for 2nd. Rich, wow. Oh, it is suddenly heating up in this race for the top 3, or top 4, excuse me.
Looks like that 51 just might have burned off his stuff a little bit too much.
It's really, really, really easy to do at this track. Roger Nebelsack going to drop down to the 4th position. Not where he wants to be, but as you said, Joe, he's making a mental notebook this next run. the complexion will change, I think, a little bit.
Roger also part of that championship 4, so I mean, he sees the 2 guys out in front of him. Again, you got to get around that 41 at some point, and that's how you're going to be able to win a championship, getting around him. But boy, oh boy, these... You know, it always seems like in these championship races, the championship 4 are running at the front.
And we see it. It's proof of concept right here, Joe. Look no further, NASCAR. It's right here.
Proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
Proof of concept.
Was that wrong?
No. I was trying to figure out where to go from there, and I couldn't think of anything. Further back, Dan Rubino, he's made his way around Brandis Spadafora for 5th. That 44 looks like he's starting to get going here late in the run. Not surprising there. 44 team, they were kind of complaining about the car maybe not being as quick as everyone else. Well, maybe not being as quick on a short run, because everyone, you know, it seems like always in practice is worried about setting down those, like, those heat laps, right? Those, just setting down qualifying laps. But this 44 team looks like they really focused on maybe long runs during practice.
Yeah, he's gonna be fighting up for the top 5 here soon enough. Sorry, top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Nebelzek struggling off the corner with that car, maybe letting him by. I don't know, but
you gotta let him by now. I mean, he's inside going into a corner. Just gonna have to let this 37 by too.
Falling apart quick for the 51.
The move Spadafora back into the top 5. Rod Weston closing in on this battle as well. Back up there, 2nd and 3rd, Rich Fankel, Tom Musa. And still your leader, Josh Boyer, as we're about 10 laps away from pit stops, or just under. So we'll keep our eye back here, 4th through 8th. 7th, rather. I can't count.
Numbers, Joe. There's just a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them. Look, this one has, they all have 2 numbers on them, too. Like, what? Even more confusing.
Now this right here, if you're one of those cars that's fallen back, oh, Brendan's got a 4 hard in the wall. We saw him struggling in the middle of that run with some tire wear. Probably the culmination of that just then. Bouncing off the turn 2 wall. I was just gonna say, this part of the race, when you're waiting on that first pit stop to get those freshies on and so you can attack the race a little bit differently, it's the most frustrating part of the race. Because all you want is to get that fresh rubber on and feel like the car has any grip whatsoever.
Rod Weston going to the inside of Roger Nebelzek down into turn 3. Trying to make the pass for 6th.
Catches the apron, gets a little free.
Hey, but that helps.
Side by side.
That helps. Right
It
now?
can help. You can use that.
Right now it helps. Probably won't help once you put those fresh tires on.
No, you will absolutely spin out with the freshies.
Don't forget, too, we'll have a halfway caution at lap 80. Where bonus points will be awarded, too, so that'll kind of shake things up with the championship fight. But right now, it's the Josh Boyer show. Boyer out front. We're watching the battle for 2nd. Starting to heat up. Rich Fankel with Tom Musa behind.
Yeah, these two have been dogging each other. I gotta wonder how hard each of them are pushing their cars right now. I wonder if maybe it's what I was talking about, where they're just waiting on this pit stop to get some fresh rubber. That can tell they're struggling for grip, trying to arc it down and get an exit that doesn't frustrate them as they move out to the wall. Really close to the back bumper of Fenkel. Yeah, these guys, I think these guys are starting to push a little bit because they know the pit stops are coming.
Do you maybe... I mean, what do you do this next run? We're going to have a caution at lap 80, for sure, at the halfway. What do you do this next run? We're working lap 39. Do you save it just a little bit? Because, I mean, you want to make sure you can get past lap 80, too.
Correct.
Because you're going to need a lap or so of fuel, because you can run it, what the magic number is, like 2 laps of caution, or 2 laps of caution, 1 of green.
Joe, the 60 of Milky, he was up in the wall.
Like he's down on the apron.
Maybe he blew a tire straight up the track.
See if we can get a replay of that. I think he did blow a tire, because look at how slow he is down on the apron right now. Oh yeah, look at where the car. Here's the replay. I mean, he's just off the gas completely. Good heads-up driving, but it looks like you said, Davey, that right front is gone on the 60 car.
Yeah, that's a really tough break. Didn't even really get a chance to reevaluate how he was going to attack the race. He's just going to have to suffer the consequences early. That's a tough break.
First of our leaders on pit road, it's Tom Musa in the 4.
We do have some takers.
Rich Fankel now on pit road, Dan Rubino, Brendan Spadafora. Roger
Really
Nebelsack going to stay out another lap.
Really interesting. Josh Boyer not. Yeah, he's coming in this time on lap 41, heading to lap 42. Looks like he's the last of the leaders to come down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, Joe.
See if the 4 and 2 can gain any ground with a couple laps on over him on fresh tires.
Because I was thinking, do you try and maybe shortcut it a little bit, see when the 41 pits, and what do you do there? Some of these guys are maybe at a risk of going a lap down if this run continued and the pace continued the way it was. But we'll have to see how this shakes out now, because he stayed out a lot longer than he thought I would, Joe.
Yeah, Nebelsack stays out the longest, so he should be good to go on fuel to that halfway break. Might be cutting it a little close for the 4 and the 2. We'll have to see if that's the case, but right now it looks like Boyer's still going to maintain his lead. Tom Musa, though, gains a lot of ground on Fankel there. Actually hops him forward position by short pitting him by a lap, so that's going to be something to watch maybe if these guys are running close with each other at the end of the next green flag run.
Yeah, it kind of all shook out a little bit more, spread out than we came in, but we do have that. We do have the halfway break. Excuse me, Joe. So, maybe these guys are racing to that.
Rod Weston, he's going to cycle up into 4th, I do believe. Timing scoring is going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's a little hard to keep up with Rubino. He's going to make the pass. I think that will be for position, I believe.
It should be, yes.
I got a lot of time. The 44 car, he's hauling the mail. Run almost his fastest lap of the race so far.
I think old Bino's getting this track figured out. Like I said, he was just not happy in opening practice here with the setup on the car, and maybe figuring out how to work it a little better for him.
Yeah, Joe, and it's like I said, I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a second. The complexion of the race is gonna change after the set of pit stops, and once these guys get a handle on how the track is racing, now how is practicing, how is racing, when we get to that break and we kind of see these mental notebooks that you mentioned executed in the way that they know they can execute them, I think we're gonna have a race on our hands here, Mr. Twins.
I hope so, man, because right now Josh Boyer is doing what Kyle Larson did yesterday in the Cup Series race, putting on a stinker. But then again, we had a fantastic finish in that race yesterday, and you can hear more of our opinions on it this week on the Fake Racers podcast, coming out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll go live here on the JTN YouTube, as well as being distributed on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Probably before that, we'll do the audio version first and then give you the video, because the audio version lags a little bit. It takes them a little while to get everything distributed. Make sure it's out in a timely manner, because I know there were a few folks that were like, where's my Fake Racers podcast last week? Well, it's coming at you this week. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Cup race, the stuff after the Xfinity race, because I think Davey and I will have a lot of good opinions about that. But you have to wait. You have to wait till tomorrow to hear it. Fake Racers podcast, always, every week on JTN.
And when you inevitably disagree with me, you better comment that you disagree with me, because I want to have a good old-fashioned argument with you.
Steve Rubino putting a good point in there. Next time we're live with the Hobo Racing series, or Hobo Racing. I don't know why I put the series on at the end, Steve. I apologize. April 11th with the trucks. I believe that's Dover, if I do recall correctly. And that's a good time to mention all of our upcoming races here on JTN this week. On Thursday, we're going to have the A-Main Podcast 250 from Talladega, 8:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Close to 40 entries in that race, Davey. It's going to be a fun one. Woo! Then we get to go out with you guys at the USORL at the Cup Series at the Nashville Fairgrounds, 10:40 p.m. Eastern on
Everybody likes the
Saturday.
fairgrounds.
Everybody loves fairgrounds. And here's the best thing. In NR 2003, you can race the fairgrounds, and you don't have to worry about hurting track owners. Then we'll be back again next week, Davey and I, the TMP Cup Series at Texas, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we return with the Bomb Squad Racing League Cup Series from Pocono for the first time this year, 9:05 p.m. Eastern on April the 1st, April Fools. And then the last race of the USORL Red Bull Cup Series regular season is also a Dash for Cash event at Michigan. That says 8:45. It should say 10:40. You should know that by now. Of course, all live here on JTN. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date. And if you hit that little bell notification icon, you'll get notified anytime we go live on your smart devices. I've always wanted to say smart devices, Davey. Finally did.
Really a Mike Joy-esque term you used there, Joe. I'm really impressed by it.
Mike Joy's my hero, man. Mike Joy's my hero.
If Mike Joy isn't your hero, we also have to have a discussion about that.
Love Mike Joy. Anyways, Josh Boyer, he's loving what he sees out front. Clean racetrack behind the wheel of this 41 and nothing in the rear view mirror. Tom Musa trying to close that gap a little bit. Musa's been running comparable lap times to that 41, so we'll have to see when we get this halfway caution in a bit, or if we have an incident before then. If that shuffles things up. 160 laps, this is a long race, and these boys are putting down a blistering pace right now. About 20 minutes in, and we're almost to lap 60, so great job by these guys. I always like to make sure we tell these guys after the races that they do a great job, and I know you guys are watching back because you got to do your film study. Great job. This is a little nugget for the racers right now. You guys are doing a great job, as you always do here at the TMP Racing Series.
Yeah, I'm new to you guys, but it has been an absolute pleasure to watch these races play. You guys are a very talented group, and I cannot appreciate that enough. Someone who's really displaying the talent right now, Rich Fenkel, swapping back and forth between Josh Boyer and himself as the fastest cars on the racetrack. Fenkel's going to be closing down on Tom Musa any second here. He's going to move into P2, I think, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got enough time to get there. I don't see it as enough. There's not enough of a difference, Davey, in those lap times to get there. He's got 20 laps to do it before the caution, and that's really what we're racing to right now. A race within a race, as a lot of people would say.
No, I think he can at least get to P2 here. The gap between, or not the gap, excuse me, the time difference between P2 and P3, Musa v. Fenkel. Fenkel's been about a tenth or two faster just about every time around. This past time being a tenth, we're going to clock him here this time. Actually, even. I stand corrected. I will shut my mouth.
Wrong.
Tom Musa wide that time through 1 and 2. I think I might be right again. I'm going to make sure to call it so I can rub it in Joe's face here.
Brendan Spadafora just went a lap down in this 37 car.
Lots of ground made up. 3/10 Fenkel made up on Musa. I think we have a battle on our hands, Joe.
Yeah, I guess I was, I guess this is where when I lacked that timing and scoring data in front of me. I get made to be a fool.
I get made look to be like a fool.
Yes, that was the sentence I was going to say, and then I tried to correct it, but I was already too late in the sentence. Fenkel looking to the inside. I think Musa's just going to let him by. He knows that 2 cars faster.
That's exactly what happens, and move Richard Fenkel in the 2 car into the 2 position.
Old Dodge Charger up there in second now, over that Toyota Camry.
That Mopar power. Can't beat it.
Mopar or no car, baby. Mopar or no car. I firmly believe that.
It has come off the wheels, unfortunately, for Brendan Spadafora, though. You mentioned him going a lap down. Was running pretty strong early in the race. I think he, much like Mr. Milky in the 60 car, suffered some consequences of the tires kind of coming apart over the course of that run. He's gonna have to kick it in gear to get back up there.
Yeah, I don't know. And part of it too, maybe just didn't get to pit road as good. Didn't, ran the tires a little hard the first couple laps, trying to gain back that time. It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of just little things. They add up, they stack up. They continue to do so, especially in these long races. You can't get behind. You can get behind early. I mean, we're closing in on halfway now. And now's the time where you got to stop. You can't keep making any of these little mistakes because they're really going to cost you.
Someone who's not made a lot of mistakes so far, that'd be Mr. Dan Rubino. Old Bino, he's up there. P4 right now. I see them asking about him in the chat. Holding his own right now. I think he's going to be a threat here on this kind of second phase of the race after we get the restart.
And real quick, because Davey, I told him before the race why this would happen, but the Michigan Wolverines have beat the LSU Tigers in the round of 32 in the NCAA basketball March Madness tournament, so I am now a happy boy for the rest of the night.
Well, that's good. That's good, Joe. I'm glad that you're happy because of that.
Well, I'm also happy because they're putting on a fantastic race tonight. Come on.
Oh, yeah, of course they are. Of course they are.
But now I'm only happy, you know, like if it, it's like when you're, oh my goodness, I can't remember what football team.
Oh my goodness.
What football team?
I don't know. What I do know is a little update. 9th and 10th positions are going to be occupied permanently for the rest of the race. The 60 of Milky, he is going to be in 9th, retiring from that accident earlier. Wade Driscoll retired somewhere before him. We'll have to go back and maybe give that a check, but he's going to round out the top 10 in the field.
Well, remember he made that contact with the wall on lap 1. So I wonder if just something in the suspension broke. They weren't able to get it fixed down there on pit road, because obviously you can't take it behind the wall here.
Correct. Now, Joe, I hate to sound like an amateur here. An amateur, but we're gonna have to do it. What are the rules on we got some cars a lap down here, and we actually have a car, the 51, in danger of going a lap down. I don't think he will. There's 8 laps left in this little segment. What are the rules on that, Joe? Maybe refresh me, and we can refresh the viewers while we're at it.
I believe there is a lucky dog.
Okay.
So, 51 goes a lap down. He'll get it. 108 to John Palmer. He's made his way around Spatafora, so he's right now in that lucky dog position.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up, is those positions swapped recently, and I was wanted to bring that up, is that the lucky dog would go to the 108 right now.
Lots of tired drivers out there right now with their legs too. You'd have to think, right? I mean, there's a lot of on and off the throttle.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to bring in the oxygen after this race, I think.
No falling out of the seat though tonight, right?
No falling out of the seat for these guys. Maybe a little bit for me this past weekend, but that's a different story for the podcast. You'll have to tune in for that one.
That's how you plug content, folks. Just like that. Josh Boyer's done a good job of plugging all his sponsors. Led every single lap up until that green flag cycle. Nebelsek led a couple. And then it's been the Josh Boyer show ever since. Nebelsek, though, just really not able to keep the tires on that 51 Apple Door Systems Ford Mustang.
Sorry, John, I'm looking at these lap times here for some of these guys. Just all over the board. It's crazy how people have run this race and where everyone ends up. They all end up at different times. They all pitted at just about the same time. We all saw it. There was the mad dash on pit road. Scoring was going crazy. Everyone was pitting around the same time. Now everyone's running times 1 to 5 tenths different. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. The approaches that these drivers are taking, they differ so much.
Why would you take, like... We know there's a lot of tracks where there's a preferred lane, right? There's a preferred groove. That's not the same thing here, is it? I mean, I think we've seen in recent years that guy, like with the Cup Series even, the NASCAR Cup Series, guys are starting to run this line that we're seeing the 51 and 41 running right now off the bottom, where traditionally you would have thought Is there a preferred line here? Are there tracks where there's a preferred line that it's just an automatic rule that you follow that preferred line, and even if you don't like running it, you run it just because you know it's that much quicker?
You know, that's an interesting question. I would have to maybe sit and think about some tracks that might be like that. We'd probably be looking at track. We actually have the caution on the racetrack for the segment break, the halfway break. I would have to sit and think about some tracks that are like that, because tracks change as well, you know. Some guys who may not like the top might not like Homestead in real life, you know, that sort of thing. You know, that's an interesting question. I don't think that's the case here at Richmond. I think at Richmond you generally want to run somewhere in that bottom lane, whether it be a car length up or half car length up. But I don't think the idea changes.
Josh Boyer coming to pit road. He's got a big gap. So he's not, I don't think he's going to be in danger of losing any time. Field not even completely formed up yet. Dog Palmer's going to get the lucky dog. Bark for him, Bristol. Bark, bark, bark. That was Bristol barking, by the way.
Bristol did that, not Joe.
Not Joe. Just like the producing thing, it's not me, it's Bristol.
Mm-hmm. We do actually have a third man on this broadcast, and it is Bristol. He just doesn't speak.
Right, because he's a good boy, and he knows that he shouldn't bark into the mic, because that would ruin the mic.
So you just do it instead.
Yes, bark, bark, bark. Bork, bork. Everyone else coming to pit road here. Gotta get fuel, gotta get 4 fresh tires. Get your Hoosier tires here, too, with these late models.
Indeed, indeed. And, you know, I think this may throw any fuel strategy we're maybe thinking about out the window here, because this caution's going to let them draw that fuel out, and they're
short pit, though.
They'll be just fine.
Look at short pit. Get a couple laps on fresh tires. I don't know if you want to, because we see the fall off is so crazy, but
that's something I could see happening, Joe. I could see someone who maybe needs to get that win, needs to make up some time. You know, if any of these championship drivers lose a little bit of track position this time around on this restart, I could see someone going for the risk. It's not all too far out of the realm of possibility.
Steve Rubino writes in, rough. Bristol appreciates the compliment.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sing our fight song right now, but the pace car lights are off for this restart, so I won't do that. And it's okay to sing a fight song because I have to chant it every time I go to an athletic event, so I at least can sing that okay. Josh Boyer out front, Rich Venkel in second. Third, it's going to be Tom Musa. Fourth, Dan Rubino. And fifth, Roger Nebelsack. John Palmer lines up sixth. Seventh, Brandon Spadafora. Eighth will be Rod Weston. Those are your 8 cars remaining on track. Those last 2 still a lap down, I believe. We'll see. Pace car makes its way down pit road. We're ready to get this Appledore Systems 160 back going here at Richmond. Green flag back in the air. Josh Boyer leads him back down.
Pretty straightforward start. No one really getting a good or a bad restart. Maybe Josh Boyer's the only one you could say got a good restart. A few car lengths between him and second place of Richard Finkel right now.
We saw that last week, too, when he was out front. He was able to get a good jump on the field. So good start for that 41 again. Want to see if this 2 car, now that he's back close, if maybe he's figured something out, maybe he can keep pace with the 41 until the point where he starts running lap times that are a little quicker than Boyer in that 41 Ford.
Not going to do it, touching the apron through the center there. Big bobble by the 2 car, going to lose a little bit of ground. I was, you know, trying to see if maybe one of these guys can come up there and take a swipe at the 41, maybe get some racing going up there, but Josh Boyer is just so strong, especially on the restarts. Proves it again there. Really working that lead now.
And part of that, too, like, once you get out to a big enough lead, you can start backing it off. You can kind of maintain that gap. Keep them at arm's length away. But right now, I think early on these tires, you just push, right? You just push.
Oh, it's tough not to, Joe. It's tough not to. Especially when you've just come down pit road, you had the caution, you're refreshed, the tires have grip again. You can't believe it. It's really, really hard to, you know, conserve. You'll probably be thinking in 20 laps, oh, I should have conserved, but it is the hardest thing as a race car driver to do. When you see the leader right there, that's your championship. That's the championship contender that you need to beat. You need to go up there and you need to beat them. It is hard to tell yourself to be easy on the tires in that situation. Richard Benkel not having any problems with it though. He's close to the back bumper of the 41 here, Joe.
He's closing in on this 41.
Wake up.
Wake up, Davey, wake up. It's time to wake up. This was all a dream.
Can't believe it. That's the sound of the alarm in Josh Boyer's head.
There you go.
Richard Finkel breathing down his neck. Tom Musa up there in the battle now. It's a three-way battle for the lead. Who would have thought this maybe 30 laps ago?
Whew. You know?
Getting a little hot, Joe? Getting a little sweaty?
I mean, I'm getting a little nervous. Especially if I'm the spotter on this 41 right now, because that too just can dive it down into the corners a little bit better. I have to think, though, that's making him use up those tires.
Yeah, I was already starting to notice off turn 2 a couple times earlier. He's having to kind of breathe that throttle, really being easy with it, making sure to not come up and hit that wall. That's not a good sign early on in the run. You want to be able to carry that speed, and you want to be easy enough to just get that run off. That tied off is not going to be fun. Looks like he's able to kind of get it back under control here. The gap is maintaining, Joe. There's not a lot of movement right now.
Oh, can't hit the apron like that, though.
You cannot. You cannot.
Not right now.
Joe.
Not right now, at least. Maybe
right
later.
now.
Maybe later when that car's a little too tight.
These guys have really broken away. I mean, it is these guys' show at the moment. 4th place belongs to Roger Nebelseck. Dan Rubino.
44 is good on the long run.
Yeah, I was about to say, Joe, do you think these guys are watching them up there and kind of rubbing their hands a little bit, thinking about what might come in the next 20 laps?
I mean, I would.
You would be?
I would.
I'd probably be one of those guys up front, just smooth braining my way up to the lead and then falling back in 20 laps. So,
Musa making the pass.
Does make the pass on Rich Finkel. Sorry to interrupt the pass there.
Oh, you were talking and then the pass interrupted you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I blame Tom Musa.
How dare he? How dare he do that?
I blame Tom Musa. That's going to be my thing. If I broadcast these more, it's going to be Tom Musa's fault.
Why you gotta do him like that?
I don't know.
Doing a good job right now.
For me, though.
Doing a good job right now for this Ford car. Got the Casey Kane number on it. I love it.
Woo, kind of taking the place of the 2 car, swinging at him coming down into the corner entry.
Well, those 2 are teammates, so not surprising that they got things figured out. They always work together really well, the 4 and the 2. As you know, 2 squared.
The Toyota and the Ford, yes.
Yeah, but you know, it's all everyone's got a crate motor, so you know.
Exactly.
Everyone's rocking those Ilmore engines.
Just body work.
Yeah, just stickers. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, of course it is.
Right, Dave? You didn't think we actually had headlights, right?
What?
My goodness, my goodness.
My goodness? Kind of reminiscent of the first run here, Joe. We got 2 distinct packs.
This time, this front pack, it's only 3 cars. We lost the 51 to Roger Nebelseck, who's now having to fend off the 44 of Dan Rubino. Rubino really sliding it now as the tires are starting to wear off.
Looking hungry, Oh, we got a big wreck at the front! Josh Boyer, he was upside down!
Oh, no!
Huge wreck!
This is massive implications. Just when you think nothing wrong's gonna happen.
Oh my
You're on your roof. Josh Boyer around lap 102.
Oh my gosh, Joe.
I thought we were just Sunday strolling. Get your replay.
Oh no.
Oh, did he blow up? Oh no! What happened there with Musa? He just went right.
I really don't know what happened there, Joe. I'm looking at it. I'm watching the replay on our screens here. I don't know what happened. I don't know what that was. I couldn't tell you. A big dive from the number 4 of Tom Musa gone wrong? I don't know. That's major implications, Joe.
I got an onboard with the 2 cars, so we'll pull that up next.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't...
Wow, Joe.
I mean, we're going to have to ask about that after the race.
Oh
But-
my goodness.
What just happened?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of studying of the incident here, Joe, and I can only guess what is what may have occurred here. Gosh, golly.
Well, pace car lights are out, so we're going to get back going here quick.
Yeah, not a lot of time to ruminate on that one. You know, I think maybe it's not picking up well on the broadcast that I think a big dive by Tom Musa. He tried to get it loaded up, knew that maybe he wasn't going to get to the corner in time, locked him up. I think that's where the contact may have originated. Wow.
Pace car pulls off. Roger Nebelsack out front. Did Nebelsack pit?
I was so focused on.
I know. Same.
You do your thing, Joe. I'll
You'll figure it out.
I'll check on the scoring sheet here.
So Nebelsack out front. He had to have pit.
Yep, Nebelsack was the first one down pit road. All these guys, I think, are on new tires now.
Yep. Dan Rubino up to 3rd now.
Wow. And yet again, Joe, for a possibly different reason than what we had mentioned, the complexion of the race is totally different.
Yes. Well, Rich Penkel came into the night the farthest back from Josh Boyer. Boyer, though, able to make up some ground. Moderate damage here, so not too worried about the damage on that 41. Looks like they got that hood smashed back down, so as long as there's nothing wrong internally, he should be okay. But now being back in traffic for the first time tonight, that's definitely going to hurt the handling with that Rocket Boots Ford. Oh, he's in the wall!
Hard in the wall there.
Can't do that. That's going to ruin the suspension.
Joe, this car, he's pushing real hard. You can tell maybe the power's not there. He's really trying to get all he can out of it. I think he's struggling.
Riding the struggle bus.
Looking everywhere. Can't look at the outside of the one away to Palmer. Gonna get the job done. Big move by Josh Boyer. He's a man on a mission right now.
Rod Weston trying to do the same thing.
I'd be surprised here if Rubino doesn't just let him go. He's been. Oh, we got a spinner.
It's Finkel around.
No contact. I think that'll be a yellow flag, though.
It will.
Did he hit the apron?
Well, let's see. Crystal fetching the replay for us very quickly. Oh, no. It looks like he might have had to hit the brakes a little harder. And that's caused the car to spin. He was right there behind the 51. So lucky not to hit the end of that pit wall, though.
Yeah, that's where I thought he was headed, Joe. I thought he was going to rip the right front off that
Kebab
thing.
himself.
Wow. It's kicking off here in this second segment. An ultimately uneventful first half of this race. Richmond said, "Oh no, you don't." It is claiming cars, claiming tires. It is it's kicking off. Wow.
Vroom, vroom. Josh Boyer going to come to pit road the second time by. See, just come down pit road the first time, you know?
Yeah, you know, I don't think any of these guys are going to make it on fuel from here. I don't think they can. So I don't know what waiting that lap gets you. I'm sure there's a reason, but I can't think of one.
All I'm thinking about is just split it in half, split it in half, split it in half. You know? I would just want to split it even down the middle whenever we go back green. An extra lap isn't going to do it for me. Right? Because we're already within the window where we can split it in half.
Yeah. It's also, you know, we're getting some frequent cautions now. You don't really, do not, you know, do you want to risk it? Do you want to risk coming down pit road to have another yellow if you split it in the middle like that? Because that's the main deterrent from people short pitting I see, and what I think about it, at least not that a short pit is, well, we've had cautions, and pitting is a really good time to have a caution. You don't want to get trapped all that down, Joe.
I think it's a really bad time to have a caution. What are you talking about, Davey?
Correct.
Why would you say a good time?
I said good time, meaning it's a common time. It's a common theme to get yellows while pit stops are occurring because there's a lot of speed differences, a lot of guys checking up in the corner. It makes for an chaotic event.
That's not correct English.
I mean, yeah.
Dan Rubino out front, Tom Musa in second, got back up to the front. Rich Fenkel, Roger Nebelsick, John Palmer, your top 5 for this restart. Into the zone we go, and green flag, we're back underway. Dan Rubino out front now.
Something interesting to note, Joe. Dan Rubino didn't hit on that last round of pit stop.
Yeah, only ran like 8 laps. You're good.
Yeah, if he was saving his tires, I could see the reasoning. But man, I'm taking those tires either way. I'm at least taking right sides if I don't plan on pitting.
Yeah, they're good enough.
Good enough.
4 car also, and the 2 didn't pit either.
Really, I could have swore that Rubino was up there all alone. My apologies.
51 back in the back. Roger Nebel's like big time struggle last time through 3 and 4. He's gonna lose all that track position.
Oh, we're in the wall again, pushing it, trying to get back up front.
Ah, push it real good.
Off the wall again in turn 4 now.
I don't think you want to do that.
You don't, Joe.
Ah. He likes to get right up next to it, doesn't he?
He does indeed.
I usually like to rip the fence all the way around. I don't like to like swing up to it because that's when you ruin something in the front end's geometry, you know?
Correct.
51 car's struggling right now. He's falling way back. I wonder if
Musa. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Tom Musa's looking for the lead here. Down to the turn number 3. Makes the dive. Rubino's going to give him the lane.
That time it worked.
That time it worked.
Did you just laugh?
Nah, I didn't.
Ah, alright. Whatever you say. Musa to the front. Josh Boyer now to the inside of Rubino. I don't think there'll be any payback, but you never know.
Could get interesting.
Rich
I
Fenkel
think we should talk it up like there will be payback.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big rivalry brewing right now between that 41 and that full call. At a 4 now looking to the inside of Rich Fenkel. Fenkel on old tires as well. He's going to get eaten up also after spinning, so.
Joe, do you think these guys are paying for the no tire call?
Well, you know. You know who's paying right now? It's this 51 of Roger Nebelsack. Does it look like he's got 4th gear?
Yeah, he does.
Something's
Definitely has
wrong.
4th gear. Something is wrong with that race car.
Unless he's saving fuel. But I don't think you can save 20 laps.
It's possible. It is possible.
I don't think you're saving 20 laps. Tom Musa right now running away from this 41 of Boyer. Don't know if he's scared or if he's just that much quicker. Spat a 4 on the apron, big time down in 1 and 2, gets loose. Rod Weston attaboy to him up to 4th in that 19 NOS energy drink Toyota Camry.
Well, Joe, I'm looking at our sheets right now. Roger Nebelsack last pit lap 113. Then we went green on lap 116. He hasn't pit since, and we had a caution in the middle of that. So you never know. This 51 car, he could be playing the long game. I think he could make it if we stay green here.
And I would say you're crazy.
Nah, it's a 40-lap fuel run.
Oh my gosh, it is. Ah,
exactly.
Math is hard.
And I would say But Joe has a terrible memory, so
I do.
it's a shame.
I have no idea how I've gotten this far in my education, honestly.
Look at Brendan Spadafora coming from a lap down. He's dogging Josh Boyer for second place at the moment.
Well, if you're Josh Boyer, are you worried right now? Maybe let that 37 by. You got the big points lead on Musa coming into this race. You also got the most bonus points at the end of the first half of the race.
I don't know. Yeah, you got to imagine they did a lot of work to that 41 car to get it rolling the way it is right now. If I were the 41 car of Josh Boyer, I'd be worried about that car blowing up, some sort of mechanical issue happening, because that does happen in an R2003.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, if you fix the car, it can still come back and haunt you, especially if you had a little bit of engine damage. He's going to look off the inside of Ford here.
I think Moose is just going to let him by.
Yeah, maybe feels a little bit bad about that last incident.
He probably does. Tom,
Hey,
we're just joking with you. We need views.
I'm not. It's like what I said. Blame Tom Musa.
Weston,
start a Tom Musa rivalry.
Weston now up into fourth. He's looking for third in that 19. Again, attaboy to the 19 and 37. Great runs right now in this finale race.
Joe, what did I say about the changing of the segments? What did I say was going to happen about the complexion of this race?
It would change, and it's changed like 4 times now.
I couldn't be more correct.
Oh, Boyer there on the clutch. Did you hear him pop it off?
Ooh, might get a little spicy.
I don't traditionally think of Virginia as having spicy food.
Nah, you wouldn't think so, but if you looked inside Richmond International Raceway, you'd see a bunch of spicy food going around this racetrack. It's getting hot, hot, hot inside this racetrack. Up the track trying to clutch Josh Boyer.
Now, I went to the fuel saving master school of fuel saving institute. Yeah, with head dean Ryan Pace. And what Josh Boyer is doing right now is something Ryan would say don't do, and that's clutch in the corners.
Yeah, it's not the preferred way to do it. He's losing a lot of grip in the middle of the corner, sliding up the racetrack. It's working for him right now.
Yeah.
But
the other thing is you're not really saving that much fuel compared to if you're to clutch it maybe... a good marker I usually set if I'm saving fuel is about 3/4 of the way down the straightaway, and then I pop the clutch back in, get it back in gear.
He's gonna let Spadafora by here, by the way. Move Spadafora into the lead.
Jet Nation on their feet wild. You can hear the screams. Ah! Ah! Woo! Woo!
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I didn't want to yell into the mic. I thought that would be kind of rude to the viewers. Hopefully it wasn't too loud.
Now Spadafora, he pit a lap after the 51 of Roger Nebelsack, and we see Nebelsack back there. He's big time saving. Hard time. Big time saving. I gotta, maybe who's banging on a caution here? This pit strategy is gonna get real funky. I don't know, Joe.
Tires too, right? This 37. If he's running all out right now, I mean those tires are gonna be gone.
Actually, I think the 37 is starting to maybe clutch a little bit. Let me take a listen again here.
Clutch. I don't know. I think he's just rolling out of it a little more. Because you don't see the car slamming on the ground. We see that 41 slam on the ground. That's our, brake immersion indication. There you see him doing it again. That means he's down on the clutch. And you'd say to yourself, well, why doesn't he do that the whole time? You want to seal the car off. You don't want any air underneath it. Well, when you're on the clutch, the car ain't getting any power.
Also, since we're braking immersion anyway, that's not real in NR, so...
That too.
So.
Dan Rubino trying to look for third.
Oh, we got that 180 in the chat. Always a great interview at the end of those USRL races. You gotta listen to him speak because he's always got something good to say.
Oh yeah, he's always speaking a word, but it's really powerful. The one word he usually chooses.
Usually it's good or no, but
yeah, short
there's
interview.
Always meaning behind it.
He's surprised to see you up in the booth. Did you see that?
I did see that. I'm Don't get used to it. Or do. Don't. Not yet.
Make sure you tell Davey he's doing a good job because he needs it. Apparently he thinks he sucks. I didn't say that to him. Bristol didn't say it to him, so I don't know where he got it from. But tell Davey he's doing a good job if you think he's doing a good job. If you don't think he's doing a good job, just say you think I'm doing a good job, because you always do a great job at saying that for me.
I appreciate it. Brendan Spadafora is still our leader. Tom Musa, he's going to be coming down. He's slow way early. It doesn't look like a normal pit stop. He's coming down pit road here, Joe. Is he splitting it in half like you were talking about?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially if these other guys are just saving to get to the end.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Interessante, as the kids would say. Rod Weston has fallen back.
Dan Rubino is going to be coming down pit road here.
Oh, I don't like that for the 44.
Yeah, he was really good on the long run, so you would have liked to see him try and stretch it out, but he's not gonna. He's gonna call it here, gonna bring it down pit road. You gotta think the next few laps here. Anyone who's staying out over the next few laps, they're committing. They are running to the end. They're not gonna gain anything by coming down pit road. They're gonna lose a lot of track position if they come down. This is the go or no time, Joe.
Yep, the go or no time.
Correct. Richard Fenkel down pit road. He's going. Everyone else seems to be knowing.
Well, don't forget that 2-car didn't pit that last time.
Gosh.
44 as well, and the 4, so I mean their tires were probably getting pretty red.
Yeah.
They were burning up. Burning up.
Burn it up.
F41 is hard, big time clutching right now. Again, for all you racers out there. See, now he's starting to he's clutching a little bit earlier because he's probably nowhere close to making it. If he's clutching all the way through the quarter right now, I don't think he's gonna be able to make it, Davey.
Yeah, it's
That's a lot of clutching.
Yeah, they're chunking time here at trying to save fuel. It's oof. Worried for those guys. Worried for those guys, Joe.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work at this rate.
I think someone who's in a good position right here, Roger Nebelsack, played his cards here. He was committed to the saving. He dropped back way far. He was saving early. I think running some of the fastest laps we got on the racetrack right now. Except for those guys that pitted, obviously, as far as the guys on the lead lap, I mean.
Yeah. Of the 3 guys on the lead lap.
Correct. Josh Boyer, yeah, he's still clutching, heavy clutching through the corner. That looks like a panic clutch. That's the kind of clutch you do when you know you gotta save. Well, I can tell I've done it before. And
it's like I said, you have to clutch. You're gonna save more fuel if you clutch in a place where you're usually on the throttle, right? It's all it's a formula. It's a derivative. You know, time, gas consumed.
RPM.
Yeah, that, and you're minimizing your differential in RPM, right? If you're in the corner where you're already off the gas, you're only saving about 2,000 RPM, whereas you're going about 8,000, 7,500, almost hits the pit wall there. Can't do that. It's the outside wall. See, this is just, it's not gonna work because that 51's coming, and then I think he's probably good to go to the end.
Oh yeah, Roger Nebelsack played his cards right. I think he's running a really good race. Crew chief on top of the box there, made the good call. We were wondering what was happening, and you were convinced he wasn't going to make it. Of course, you thought we had like an 80-lap fuel run, or whatever you thought it was. But
yeah.
You know, that's not the case.
I didn't think we were only 6 laps outside. I thought we were like 20 laps outside. I was like, I don't know.
It's coming to the moment of truth here, Joe. We're within 10 to go.
We are. It's so timing and scoring is crazy right now. But for our friends at TWB and our friends at GardenLightsDirect.com, from porches to patios to more, for all your outdoor lighting needs, head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com. That's GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com for all your outdoor lighting needs. Thanks to TWB for our TWB 10 to go. Spadafora 4 still out front. I think he's got a chance because he's going to run it as long as he can. You can still get a caution, right? That could still be a possibility. That would probably save this 37, save the 41 and 51.
Indeed.
51 going to go by on the outside here for second. And then there's more lap traffic on fresh tires. Dan Rubino, Rich Finkel. They're going to go by the outside on the 41. Boyer going to have to keep it down. This is something he's probably not used to, getting passed by faster cars.
It's going to be tight, Joe. It's going to be tight. Still the panic clutches for the 41. He is saving as much as he can. He is committed, but he is saving as much as he can. I don't think he's coming down pit road. He's going to run it dry, or he's going to finish this thing out.
Yeah. Back up to our leader, Brendan Spadafora, doing a great job in this 37 car. We'll have the 44 by on the bottom. 2 car coming quick as well, trying to get back on the lead lap. There he goes on by. You're Spadafora, you're just watching these laps click down and hoping you can make it to the end, because we haven't seen this 37 save like the 51 and like the 41.
No, you're right, Joe, and you gotta wonder, he only pit a lap after the 51 car did. The 51 car saved a lot early in that run. Now, how good these guys are, we don't know. But I find it hard to believe that 37's still running strong here without saving much. I didn't see him clutch that often. Maybe he was rolling more into the entry of the corner. Maybe that was doing enough. I mean, we just gotta wait and see. That's all we can really do. We just gotta wait and see.
This is the beauty of not being able to afford a radio.
Yeah, it's just too expensive.
Those track rentals, man. Double sec to the inside for the lead. Josh Boyer, big time send down into the corner, trying to close up the gap. 3 laps to go.
They're trying to get the lead here. 37's just, he's not going to be able to keep up, I don't think.
2 to go at this time at the line, right?
2 to go this time. Bye. Nebelsek is your leader now.
Hey.
Josh Boyer, big send down to the bottom.
Ah!
Hits the apron.
You can't do that.
They're clear. 37's
That's a teammate.
still back there saving fuel. Maybe sputtering. 37 possibly sputtering in third. Yeah. Coming to the white flag off of turn 4 rudder. Nebelsek with a big lead now. Josh Boyer's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, Boyer's been sending it down into these corners. I don't think he's going to try that again, because we saw last time him hit the apron. Coming off of turn number 2 to Nebelsek. Out front right now. Boyer in second with the fuel strategy. We saw it work at Gateway in the Indy cars. You see it work again here tonight. Coming to the line, Roger Nebelsek wins it at Richmond.
Put the calculators away, Joe. He did the best job he could. Brendan Spadafora had to come down pit road. I think he was run out down the back stretch. Josh Boyer is out here on the front stretch. That tough break for the 37. He's going to lose all those spots that he made up. Your third place finisher is going to be Rod Weston.
What a run for Weston.
Tom Musa going to take 4th position. Dan Rubino rounds out the top 5. Wow, what a barn burner, Joe.
Burn it down, Mr. Roger Nebelsek.
He's got enough fuel for the burnout. You got to appreciate it,
He's
Joe.
going to go park it in the checkered squares, because I don't think he's got too much fuel left. There you see him. Congratulations to Nebelsek on the victory tonight here at Richmond. We'll move on to our post-race coverage, interview our top 3 drivers, and talk with our champion, Josh Boyer. We'll wait for them to join us here, Davey, but what a strategy call there by the 51 to make it to the end. And like you said, it was panic saves for the 41 there late in the race.
Oh, yeah. And, at the end of the day, they got the job done. Josh Boyer did wind up in second where he was running, but he knew he was on the button to try and save some fuel there, and he was doing everything he could to get the right amount of fuel saved and still finish where he did. It was you had to kind of piece it together at the end, but that was a great performance.
People congratulating Nebelset, congratulating our top 3 drivers. Folks, what a great finish we saw here tonight. Get them down in the booth once they get everything sorted away. Looks like there's a lot going on down on pit road with trophies and stuff getting handed out right now. Oh, there's a couple prizes being given away tonight too with the sponsorship from Apple Door Systems. Remember, if you're in the Virginia area, you need a new garage door, head on over to appledoor.com. It's also linked in the video description below. Know those guys would really appreciate it if you at least went and checked out their site, even if you're not in their locale. Self a new garage doors. Support those that support racing, especially NR 2003 racing on JTN, right, Davey?
I gotta agree with that one, Joe. Can't disagree with that.
Well, he's made his way into the booth. Our third place finisher. A great night for the whole 19 NOS Energy Drink Toyota team. Rod Weston, buddy, what a great run you and that 19 team had tonight.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I wasn't up there all through the whole race and got to the halfway point, and I think I got caught speeding on the caution there, and that put me back. And then, I just pulled strategy at the end.
Yeah, but those officials, they're always out to get you on pit road. I mean, if you're probably like half a mile per hour over, let's not worry about them.
I don't know if it was in or out. Honestly, I didn't see where I hit it.
But a great run for you in that 19 team. Davey and I were talking about it once we went back after the halfway break. How you managed to get some track position. I mean, you started 10th on the field. You're the hard charger for the night, coming from 10th to finish 3rd. What went into your strategy tonight? Because again, you weren't in that championship 4, so obviously there's not that big prize out there. You still want to go out, get a trophy, get a good finish to end off the late model season. Maybe build some momentum into the off season over the summer. What was there a strategy tonight? Was there anything special you did with kind of it being a unique race for guys that maybe weren't competing for that championship?
At first, I thought we'd have a couple more cautions. So I just kind of, the first run there, I was just taking it easy, trying to make up some positions, but yet not burn off the tires. And I think I drove a little too hard there. So, but then we got to the halfway point. I was hoping I could, make up some positions and then try to be there at the end. But just the lack of cautions tonight kind of messed my strategy up a little bit. And then of course we did get the cautions, and then so I was calculating everything out, and then at the end there I said I'm just going to cut it in half and just drive it like I stole it, and hopefully they can't make it.
Well, if I do my math correctly too, it looks like you'll be in that final 8 next week for the Cup Series. If I do my math correctly, it's unofficial. Don't take my word for it. I don't know if anyone's...
I don't points race, so...
Well, I'm looking at the points. And
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll take it. Right? The sponsors like it. You gotta do it for the sponsors. But Rod, a fantastic showing from you and the 19 team tonight to end off the late model season. Before we let you go, you know the drill. Thank all the sponsors, all the family back home. Floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Well, I got to thank Jim Carley, obviously the crew chief. He did some pretty good calls tonight. We made it out through there. NOS Energy, Toyota, of course. Johto Network, TMP. Obviously, them guys. We wouldn't be if it weren't for them. Obviously, I'm sure she was on there rooting and hollering. Got to say hi to Mackenzie. She just loves this stuff, and I love her to death. And just it was a great night. I'm happy with 3rd. And looking forward to the next season, the new season. So hopefully then by the time we get to the end of that, I'll be up in the top.
Hey, I think with the way you ran these last couple weeks, that will definitely be the case. Rod Weston, driver number 19. Thank you, buddy, for taking time with us after the race. Congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and good luck next week at Texas.
Thank you, buddy.
Rod Weston, driver 19, NOS Energy Drink Toyota. Well, Davey, now we got a pair of number 1s up here. They're getting their headsets on. I don't know which number 1 we want to go to first. So I think in the tradition of championships, we're going to go to the number 1 that won the race. Roger Nebelsack, driver number 51, Apple Door Systems, Ford Mustang. Roger, a good way to end the season here with the late models.
Thank you. Yes, save the best for last. Interview the champion last.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, Davey called me out for it, but I completely lost track of how many laps were to go when we saw you back there massively saving at the start of the run. I know you pulled off the same strategy at Gateway to get that victory. When you saw where those cautions fell there at the end, did your eyes just light up knowing that you were going to be able to get it done to the end?
Absolutely, yeah. When it was Rich, when he went around, I go, I've actually got a chance to make this on one stop, and I'm just going to pit now, and we're going to roll the dice.
And was part of that too, it looked like you were really struggling once we got about 10, 15 laps into a run. Was that part of it too, kind of knowing where the limitations of your car was, if we got a long run to the end like we ended up having?
Yes, absolutely. I burnt my tires off in that very first run. You saw me behind Josh for a good 20 laps or so, 15, 20 laps or so, and then all of a sudden I was gone. And I burnt the tires off, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing differently. And I was like, well, I guess I'm either just going to ride around here and just collect a finish, or I might get lucky and see what the second half brings. And Josh probably could have easily lapped me, but there by the halfway, but really it wouldn't have made much of a difference, because even if he would have lapped me, I don't think he'd have gotten to the next car to put me the second car lap down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have been able to get the lucky dog regardless. So that definitely worked out.
I think you probably would have pushed a little harder knowing the end of this race, because it still would have put you at the back of the field, right? I mean, it still would have put you behind the lap down guys if you got the lucky dog.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always like to have as many cars as between me and the guy I'm racing for the win. And if you would have known he was racing you for the win, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if he would have been so nice. I'm getting a little word from our statistician, Steve Rubino, in chat. Is this your first win with your new wheel?
Yes, actually it is.
What kind of wheel you got now?
Tom sold me his G29.
Oh, let's go. That's what I got. I love it.
So I've got a couple of wins with the old Momo steering wheel, and actually 2 IndyCar wins with this. That and the late model win, and this is my first win with the new wheel. Yes, thank you, Steve.
How does it feel? Does it feel better?
Yeah, for the most part, I like it.
Okay, good,
Mm-hmm.
good. Always
I'm still getting the kinks messed out of it, because I was definitely hollering on the radio to Josh about burning my tires off. He's like, man, we might have to get on there and take a look at it, make a couple adjustments, and see if we can get some better tire wear on there, because my tire wear tonight was absolutely horrendous.
I'm going to have to get some notes from you too, because I've still been struggling with mine, and I've had it for a lot longer than you have. Roger, congratulations on the win tonight. You've been up here your fair share of times. Before we let you go, the floor is yours to thank whoever you got. Family back home, you know the drill by now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll, first and foremost, thank my wife for letting me run. If she wouldn't, I wouldn't be here. So gotta thank the old lady. All right. Also want to thank Tom for putting on such a spectacular league. The entire week I've been leading up to this, I've just been thinking of how much fun this whole thing has been this entire year. So, kudos to getting the idea to combine these leagues and make it what it is, because this is an absolute blast. And want to obviously thank you guys for broadcasting the races. Adding you guys has been, that much, if you 100% and then some on the fun level, on the fun meter there. So,
Let's go.
Right. And then want to thank Rob Heath tonight for stepping up, sponsoring the race. I thought he might like that, because he is a Richmond native. So I thought, what better way to showcase his company, Apple Doors, than having them sponsor the race. So want to shout out to them, and maybe I'll talk to him about running his paint scheme a little bit more, because I'm 1 for 1 now with it. So, and lastly, Ski Soda, longtime sponsor. They weren't on the car in a sticker form tonight, but I had a can with me. So thanks, guys, and we will see you
next week.
Next week. Yep.
Cup Series finale, Roger. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Josh, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you, Roger. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Roger Nebelsack, Victor, here tonight at Richmond. Now we go from the winner's circle for the race to the championship stage out here in the infield to talk with our champion of the late model series, Josh Boyer, driving number 41 Ford. It's Rocky Boots, right? Rocky Boots.
Yep, Rocky Boots. Yep.
Okay. Whew. I got really scared that it wasn't Rocky Boots and it was Rocky something else. But I was like, there's no way I'm getting this wrong, Josh. There's no way I could be getting it wrong because I've seen that car out front all season long. A well-deserved champion for you and the whole 41 team.
Yeah, thanks. Good race tonight. Had a little hiccup there in the middle, but we recovered nicely and got back up there and had a chance at the end, but just didn't quite save enough.
Yeah, do you know what happened there? I don't want to get any anger or any, but did he just kind of send it in a little too much? Did you maybe what happened there?
Yeah, I was thinking about, do I take the Kyle Busch approach to this response or do I? No. I'm just here so I don't get fined. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
So I got in the wall for 2, and I knew Tom had the run, and Tom, you could see it was running into the corners way harder than I was all through the run, and I was definitely backing off way earlier than I think most of the guys, and that's where I saved my tires really well tonight. I mean, if those long runs, I was clearing the field by 3-4 seconds, so I just back off a little early. When I got in the wall for 2. I knew he had a run, so I was just giving him the line. I was not even going to try and fight him, and I think he just got a little loose and came up the track and got into me. And thankfully, it didn't completely ruin our night. I thought as I was sitting on my lid, I'm like, oh, here we go, I'm done. But we got it flipped over and a la Dale Earnhardt a little bit here and got back going, and the car still had enough power to race, and so we got her fixed up the best we could and hit the track and was able to work our way back to the field and was in a good spot there on that last restart. Once Brendan got past, I think I got in the lead there, and Brendan got past me, but I knew I needed to save fuel, and so I was just trying to save some. I saved enough to get to the end, but not enough to race Roger for the win. That's for sure.
Gotta save fuel down the straightaways, Josh. Gotta save fuel down the straightaways, not in the corners. I was up here. I'm like, Davey, he's not saving fuel in the right place. I'm telling you, I know how to. I raced with the best fuel saver I've ever seen, and he ain't doing it right. But you made it to the end, right? I guess I was wrong.
Half a lap, maybe a lot more. I think it just came down to I started saving too late. I think I started saving, clutching with about 25 to go, 25, 30. And I should have been clutching it the whole time, right? So, but, I'll tell you what, it was hard to drive it clutching it, though, because you kind of rely on the RPMs to drag you in the corners and pull the speed down. You probably saw me. I kept getting high in 1 and 2. I couldn't keep it low enough.
Well, that's why you clutch it, and then you get off the clutch going into the corners, then your RPMs spike back up, right? So that's how I've kind of learned it. That's like the only thing I'm good at is fuel saving. That's why I come up here and talk in the booth. I just had to poke one little hole in your race.
I'm gonna take some lesson from you then.
Good.
Yeah, I was about to say we got the broadcaster giving the champion some lessons up here. Goodness.
If he can find a single fault, I guess he can do that.
I had to find one. I got to keep you humble because you still got 2 races. I'm assuming 2 more championships to go after. Try to get the trifecta and then get the overall title. What kind of momentum does this give you? I mean, obviously, second place in the race isn't anything to be upset or angry about or to hang your hat or hang your head. Not hat, because if you hang your hat on it, it's good. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm confused. This interview is just spiraling. Davey knows what I'm talking about.
Joe, you're showing your age with that one there. But...
Yeah, I know. It's well, let me tell you, Josh.
Well,
but
I'll save you here, Joe. I think it gives us some good momentum moving forward here for these last couple of weeks. Hopefully, we can have some good runs, especially in IndyCar. I think that's the race I'm probably most concerned about, to be honest with you. So we'll see how we do, and it should be a good finish here for the season. We've had good close races. This one came down to the wire tonight, so you never know what will happen, right, with cautions and fuel.
Well, he saved me from asking probably a terrible question or continuing to ask my terrible question. He saved enough fuel to make it to the end. He saved a lot tonight, but he got his championship that he wanted, and he is well-deserved. Josh Boyer. Before we let you go, you know the drill. You've won enough of these. We've been up here enough times. You got the opportunity. Thank the family. Thank the sponsors. Floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Joe. First off, thanks to TMP and these guys in the league. And fun group of guys to race with, and we hope we continue to grow in the future. Thanks to Rob for sponsoring tonight's race and Apple Door Systems, and we always like to have those guys on board to help us out with stuff here and support the league. Thanks to my wife, who doesn't watch these and doesn't really care about my sim racing, but I get to spring break's coming up, so I get to go home here this weekend and spend some time with the family starting on Friday. So looking forward to getting home for a week. And And then thanks to Rocky Boots, local company there. Home base is just outside of my home where I live there in Ohio. So I'm glad to have them on board this season, both here on the late models and then the trucks over on Hobo, helping us out. And thanks to everybody else out there watching. And I don't have any ski on board here, but I do have some. I have some Coors I might pop into tonight.
And Josh, real quick, you're in Ohio.
Hold on, I got to beat up on Tom here. He's
Okay,
in here.
I was gonna say go hit him in the face real quick.
Wait, you're still in first place. He's in the overall.
Josh, you're an Ohio Bobcats guy too, right?
That's true, man.
You're not one of those Buckeyes that I can't
the
talk
team that
to.
won in the tournament. This
Exactly.
season. Yeah.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we did not get the job done tonight in the
It's
second
okay.
round. but
Hey, you beat. Oh shoot, who was it?
Virginia.
Yeah,
beat Virginia Saturday. Yeah, the first team to kind of really turn over all the not this. Oral Roberts beating Ohio State was the first one, I think, for sure. But taking down Virginia, I think clinched the no perfect brackets remaining in the country, if I remember right, on Saturday.
Yes.
So go Cats.
March is madness. Go Cats. Go Cats. And you're working on your doctorate too, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Good. Last semester.
Last semester here, I'm at Mizzou, who unfortunately lost in the tournament on Saturday as well. So, so my Bobcats though came through. But last semester here, and we'll finish up schoolwork and be done with that.
Well, congratulations on that too, Josh Boyer, driving number 41 at Rocky Boots Ford. Congratulations on the championship as well.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Take care, Josh Boyer. Tom, you got a second for a little interview? Just a little question.
I do. I got the point update.
Oh, you got the point. Okay, what are the first? Since you're league admin, league runner. Give the fans at home the point update.
All right, went from top 12 to the top 8 for the next 2 races, and it's Josh Boyer at 1408. I have 1389. Roger has 1379. Rich 1365. Dog with a 1361. Bino 1360. Ron 1375, and Rod 1348.
Yeah, I told Rod he made it in. He said no, I didn't. Look at me. Look at my math. Davey, you need to take back every bad thing you said about my math skills tonight.
Well, I'm not going to take back the fact that you thought a fuel run was like 120 laps or whatever you thought it was, but I'll take back the other parts.
Okay. Tom, I have one quick question for you. We already talked to Josh about it. When you made that pass to the inside, it shuffled up the race. Was it just, I know it was your opportunity to get by him for the lead, and I think that really shook things up, especially because he hadn't run behind anyone all night. Did you just kind of maybe get a little too hot down into the corner and then car got loose?
Yeah, I went in there to started pushing. I locked them up, and it just pushed up really bad.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because Davey and I, we were trying to start some stuff, and we wanted to make sure that He actually started saying hashtag blame Tom Musa. So just so you know, anytime
I've been talking all week, bump and dump. That's the only way we could beat him.
We're on the same page here. I was ahead of the curve a little bit on blaming him. See, he took.
I just didn't want to say it out loud, but now I did, I guess, right?
Well, you just can't do it next week, right?
That's what we're here for. You don't say it out loud up there. You say it out loud down here.
Right.
And that way we get the credit.
But Tom, you had a great run going, and then just circumstance. I think you ended up being the first guy coming to pits there on that last run. Were you thinking just get those fresh tires a little bit earlier? Because you also were the first guy the first time in that first.
Yeah, I pitted early, and I was like 1 lap short, getting the halfway because no yellows, so that kind of screwed me up. And then Rod pitted right before me, and then I went in, and somehow I got some button screwed up that I was only going to get 1 tank. He gave me 2 tanks. So I had enough gas for the rest of the field for the rest of the race.
Then it weighed the car down a little bit too much.
Yeah, it does.
Those gosh dang pit crew people. Ugh, always screwing up. That's not on you, Tom. That's on your crew chief.
Yeah, I know.
Go fire them. My goodness. Actually, don't. That'd probably be bad. You still got 2 races left. Tom, but you always put on a great show. Always, you run a great league here. And folks, you can go to the TMP Racing Series Facebook page. You guys got a summer league coming up too, where you're going to kind of shake things up. And I know there's a lot of people that we see come in. They're always looking for NR leagues. You got to have a wheel. You can go sign up on their Facebook page to find out more, because you're still looking for drivers, right? Looking for a couple?
Yeah, we got 2 races left this year, and then we'll start it up again with the major season in September. So if you want to jump in during the summer and see what we're doing and see if you like what we got going on, give us a shout.
Well, and Tom, thanks for taking time to talk with us. 4th place finish tonight. Good finish for you in the 4 crew. I'm going to let you thank all the sponsors and stuff, too, since you took the time with us. We'll give you the time for all those beautiful colors.
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank Rowdy energy drink. Rich for painting the car. Musa Machining Fabrication up in Mayville. TM Production, best production company out. And Roger and Rich for helping us put this all on. And you guys definitely for working with us.
And we appreciate you guys taking the chance on us all the way back in, what was it, probably August of last year. So
yeah, you got our last IndyCar race.
Yeah, we appreciate that so much, and we're so happy you guys really enjoy these, and we're glad that we help bring a little more fun, because we know you guys like to have fun, so we like to replicate that on the broadcast. Tom, congratulations on the good points finish. I know you're still running for that Cup Championship too next week, right? And then you're going to be running for the IndyCar Championship, I'm assuming.
Yeah, next week we got Roger, me, Rich, and Dog are in the top 4.
Oh man, so Boyer's not in it.
No, he's not in this one.
He can't.
So...
He let me say, "Oh, I hope you win the trifecta," and he didn't even correct me.
I don't know if he knows he's not in it. But he's not.
He's finding out now.
He missed it by like 4 points.
Well, that's good. That's good that it's close. Not good that he missed it, but good that it's close. Never good when somebody misses.
Yeah, Dog's in second place, and then Rich and Roger are tied, I think.
Well, see, next week we're going to spice it up at Texas. Tom, thanks for talking with us. Congratulations on the good run tonight and the third place finish in the points. I know you're going to keep rallying, try to win that championship next week, and then go after the Indy cars as well.
Thanks, guys.
Don Musa, driver number 4, Rowdy Energy Toyota. Davey, that's going to wrap up our coverage tonight here from Richmond. What a fantastic race we had. Guys put on a great... It was pretty much green flag the whole time. You had a couple cautions here and there. Just guys getting loose, but that's always what you like to see. I know, people, they say, some races, they get strung out, they get boring. But I think when you can have a race that goes green like that, it's the purest form of racing.
Yeah, that was an absolutely just a barn burner of a race. It just changed so much over the course of those runs. The fuel strategy at the end, obviously, but the big wreck, Tom Musa and Josh Boyer. I mean, you would not have thought that was coming. You wouldn't have thought that those guys would have been in the position they were in. Roger Nebelsack, such a tough first run. I mean, we weren't writing him off, but we were like, oh man, he's gonna have problems with fuel with tires, and that's what he needs. He needs his tires, and wow, yeah, it's just so many avenues that this race took over the last hour or so. It was wonderful.
It was wonderful. And folks, if you want to see more wonderful content, make sure you're subscribed to us here at JTN. We got another live race with the A-Main Podcast 250 on Thursday, the USORL Cup Series from Nashville Fairgrounds on Saturday, and we'll be right back here with the TMP Racing Series for the Cup Series Championship next Monday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time from the Texas Motor Speedway Championship at Texas. Who would have thunk it? For all of us here at JTN, we appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe again. Of course, for Bristol, our producer, for Davey Hazard, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time live on JTN. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh,
Maverick!
they're wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. So Musa gets it.